Good Monday morning motivation once again, and happy Labor Day.
Yes.
Yes, happy Labor Day. Kind of didn't really even realize this was a holiday weekend until like yesterday. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's fitting for us though. I think we're working all of Labor
yes,
Day weekend.
yes.
We are laboring, but
We are laboring. Thank you guys for tuning in, and
mhm,
hopefully you are not laboring as well today. If you
mhm.
are brand new, I'm Chris. This is the Chris Cooking Nashville live stream called Monday Morning Motivation. I've lost about 130 pounds on a proper human diet. My beautiful wife here, Ash Taylor, country artist extraordinaire. Go to ashtaylor.com for all of your country music needs. Here are the two of us doing some music together. She's lost about 110
I
pounds
sure have.
on a proper
Proper
human
human
diet.
diet. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do recipes, we do videos, we do motivation, we do all kinds of stuff.
We told pretty funny dad jokes.
Yep, we do. And we have a really cool private community called The Band where you get extra support. We do some extra recipes, some private live streams, behind the scenes content. There's a great community there, all kinds of stuff to try to help people, just to do some amazing and incredible things as best we can to try to change the world one plate at a time. I have linked The Band in the chat. So if you are like, hey, I could really use some support and I could really use some
Mhm.
community around me to be more successful at this, click that link and come join us. We would love to have you over there.
Definitely.
We have several band members right now that are doing a shred challenge with me.
They are,
Yeah,
yeah.
today is kind of day one for the band members. I'm on day 4 today,
Mhm.
but there's a lot that goes into that, and I've talked a lot more in depth about that in the band. But we're kind of doing that together, and we're taking this shred challenge to try to get our health that much more under control. And my goal is that as a result of doing this shred challenge, that I will hit my goal body weight.
It's
That's my
awesome.
goal. So
Really cool.
yeah, so we're doing stuff like that at the band. So go click that link, come join the band. We would love to have you guys in there, and I think we'll have a really good time together, and we'll see some amazing results if we all support each other and stay accountable and help each other out. So
I agree.
yeah,
I agree. Do you want to go ahead and say hey to some folks?
I'd love to.
Awesome. Guys, do us a favor. Leave us a comment. Let us know where
Yep.
you're watching from, what y'all are up to this Labor Day weekend. Also, please remember to hit the thumbs up.
Hmm.
Share it with a friend.
Yep, absolutely.
Tells the internet that this is a good thing and
Yep,
more people should see it.
that's the goal.
That is the goal. Carrie is here, pulling
Hey,
the
good
boat up
morning,
to the
Carrie.
live stream. Says my first holiday off paid with a new job at the school. Happy Labor Day to everyone.
That's great. Good for you,
That's
my
cool,
brother.
man. Awesome. Janelle is here.
Good morning, Janelle.
She says, good morning, everyone. I'll have to catch the replay. Husband has a busy day of chores lined up for me, starting with the exercise bike.
I hear you. I hear you.
No rest. Saying good morning to everybody. Hope you're enjoying the holiday weekend. Sherry's here.
Hello, Sherry.
Always good to see Sherry. Miss Lynn Reed.
Hello, Lynn.
Let's see here. Oh, and I see that you have pinned the comment to join the band right
Yep,
there.
yep. So there's the comment with the link in it for you guys. Go check that out. Grab that link and come join us in the band. We'd love to see you there.
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Ann D is here with
Good
us
morning,
this
Ann.
morning. And the beautiful Miss Emily.
Hello,
is
Emily.
here. She's hilarious. Good morning, Emily. Blue Diamond Bill is here.
Hello, Bill.
Let's see. Cheryl is here.
Good morning, Cheryl.
She also says, Chris, love the shirt.
Thank you very much. I love this shirt too.
Yes, absolutely. Melissa is here.
Hello, Melissa.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great question. Hope Hart is here. Says, question, was looking to see if you made a cookbook. Haven't found one yet. Are you going to be making one?
Hello, Hope. I'm in the middle of writing it right now, and I actually just turned in the first roughly half of it, kind of all the stuff before the recipes start, all the info, the beginning portion of the book, all the kind of the heavy writing stuff. I actually just turned the first draft of that into the publisher a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So we are hoping early this next year that book will be coming out. So stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell, all of that kind of stuff, because as soon as I have info on when it will come out, how you order it, pre-order it, all that stuff, I will be sharing it all over the place on socials for you guys. So yes, writing a cookbook is a very monumental process. It is a very long and difficult project. but it is a very worthwhile one, and I'm really enjoying it. So we're doing it, but we're going to do it right, and it's going to be a fantastic book. And the publisher is amazing, and they're going to be working to make it not just a book filled with amazing information, but a book that you can proudly display in the kitchen and have it look good, have it be useful, have it be high quality, all of it. So it's going to be great.
I'm really excited
Yeah.
for it. I'm like super pumped. I don't want to brag, but I did get to read most of your cookbook so far, so
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Peggy is here, says almost missed today. Good Labor Day morning, all.
Hello, Peggy.
And congrats on your weight loss.
Thank you very kindly. We're doing good.
Yeah. And Melissa says, watching from Eastern Texas, working Labor Day weekend at the new job.
Okay, very good.
Cool.
Good for
very,
you.
very cool. I like that. And Rose Wynn is here.
Hello, Rose.
Rose says, good morning. Making my packing list for Colorado next Saturday to visit my daughter and family.
Excellent. Well, safe travels and enjoy your daughter and family.
Yeah, it's very awesome.
Yeah.
Robin is here from Oregon.
Hey, Robin, how are you?
Marie says, hello.
Marie.
Loved the Nilla Wafer video. I look forward to trying them.
Awesome. I hope you enjoy them very much.
Yes. If you guys don't know, Chris just Saturday dropped the Nilla Wafer video. If you guys haven't seen it, you can go find it. And they are delicious.
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect for carnivore kids and big kids like me.
Yep.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yep, good times.
Andy is here, says, hey, howdy, hey. Chilling with y'all from Utah today. This is one of the best places to be.
I love it. I bet Utah is really nice today.
I bet so. You know what? Where's Chris and Miriam? Our
That's...
Keto Chow and Salty friends, aren't they? They live in Utah, right?
Yeah, they do.
We could go visit.
I know.
We could go visit. I'm just saying.
We could do it.
Charlie Darth Carnivore is here.
Hey, Charlie.
He says, will you be doing cookbook signing tours once published?
Yes. The cool thing is because Ash is a country artist, because I play guitar for her, we tour all over the country and play music. And we've already talked with the publisher about that. And so as we're touring around doing music, we'll also be doing cookbook signings and events and all kinds of, hopefully, media appearances and whatever. So yeah, we'll be all over the country.
We'll be everywhere.
Yep.
All over the place.
We'll tour her music stuff, and we'll tour my cookbook, and we'll just be everywhere.
It'll be fun.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
Yep. It'll be good times.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be really, really good. Let's see here. Rose says, so excited for your upcoming cookbook here in Wisconsin.
Well, thank you, Rose. I'm excited to have it done.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it and hold it. I'm pumped.
Yep.
Looks like your parents are tuning in this
Hello
morning.
to Mama and Papa Nashville.
Yeah, and Dennis is here.
Good morning, brother Dennis.
Awesome. And your mom says, love the shirts.
Well, thank you kindly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
My mom is probably not that surprised to see me wearing shirts like this, because when I was in high school, I used to have all kinds of shirts like these that I used to wear. I am leaning back into my love of Hawaiian shirts. So currently I wear a 3X. Hopefully that'll go down to a 2X sooner than later.
When I met you, you wore like a 5X.
Yeah, when I was first met Ash, I was a 4X, and that could be tight. So it was usually a 4X tall, and it was pushing it to where I was like, yeah, I'm going to start wearing 5X. So yes, so 3X is a good step, and 2X is the next goal. I actually have some 2X tall shirts that fit pretty well. I have to have them tall because I have a tall torso, and I have really broad shoulders. So, but yeah, so we're working towards 2X. But if anybody out there is interested, I wear a 3X Hawaiian t-shirt right now, and I love Hawaiian t-shirts. So if you need my address, you let me know.
That's what we need.
The louder and brighter it is, the happier I'm going to be. So just FYI, if you're like, hey, Chris needs a gift, there you go.
I just can imagine all the bright colored Hawaiian t-shirts dropping off at our front door.
I think it'd be great.
It's hilarious. Carol is here with us from
Carol.
Florida. Chili Harder is here.
Good morning, Chili.
Doing it wrong, Mr. Lewis.
Hello, Mr. Lewis.
Peggy says, finally got you streaming on our TV, and husband says he likes your shirt.
Well, thank you kindly.
Yeah. Blue Diamond Bill says, excited about your cookbook too. Just celebrated my 2-year carniversary this week. No plans on stopping. I feel so good.
Congrats, Bill. That's awesome. And congrats on your
man.
2-year carniversary. That's
a
fantastic.
big deal. That's a huge deal, man. Good for you.
Yep.
And this is awesome too. Melissa says, I got into a woman's size 18 this weekend. I haven't been that size in 25 years.
Isn't that amazing?
Come
Congrats
on.
and rock on to you as well, Melissa. That's fantastic.
So amazing.
How good does that feel?
Yes. And Peggy says, I hope to have you and Ash also sign your cookbook at some point.
Yeah,
we'll be everywhere, so you'll see us.
Yep.
Oddly enough, the one request that I think we've gotten a lot is for Mel to sign the cookbook.
Yeah.
So
I have no idea how we'd make that happen, but you get one of those ink pads and take a paw and just...
Yeah. And Charlie Darth Carnivore says, my friend gave me the idea to get a custom Hawaiian t-shirt with my daughter's smiling face all over it.
I love that.
I love that. That's actually really cute. We should get you a custom shirt. We were talking about this morning. Custom Hawaiian shirt with like the CCN logo or something on it.
That'd be cool.
So cool. Well, babe, I think at the moment we're caught up with the comments. I know you have some really important stuff to talk to us today. So
yeah, I think this is a really cool subject. Mm-hmm. And here's the deal. Some of you may have heard about this before, but I'm hoping that this can kind of frame this in a new light for you. Mm-hmm. If you are in the keto and carnivore world and you've heard all of this, this may not be that mind-boggling and crazy for you. But if you are brand new, this is obviously going to be like probably brand new information, or maybe you're just kind of new to this information and haven't heard much of it. But even if you are one of the rock-on experts and you have been doing this for a while, I'm hoping that the way I frame this might just reinforce for you the importance of this and might make this a little clearer. And I think this is really important info. So what are we talking about today? The forbidden truth about ketones and your brain. The key to unlocking your brain's full potential has been hiding in plain sight. And I think this concept is probably one of the most at the core ideas of why a proper human diet is so important. Because yes, our body, our weight loss, our metabolic health, all these things, we talk a lot about that. But one of the things that I don't think is talked about enough, and quite honestly, I know it's not talked about enough via confirmation from Mr. Dr. Barry himself. Dr. Barry and I were talking about this, and he said, this whole thing of like mental health and the brain side of things, he's like, it is not being talked about enough in this community. And he was talking about some stuff I'm going to be telling you guys about. He was like, I'm actually really glad you're going to be talking about this because more people need to know. So, the man himself signed off on this being an important topic. So it makes me feel good about the fact that we're covering this information because I really think this is key, and this is probably the biggest impact for me. Yes, I've lost 130 pounds. Yes, you've lost 110 pounds. If I didn't lose a pound, having the things in my brain change the way they have because of keto and carnivore would still be worth eating keto carnivore for the rest of my life. Because I could not be the person I want to be with my brain the way it used to be. And we're going to go into more depth on the channel soon about all of that. I know I've been kind of telling you guys it's coming. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of information. But I was really struggling mentally before keto and carnivore. Depression and anxiety and all of this brain fog and I'm just honestly terrible stuff. Debilitating mental health issues. And part of this is feeling this amazing brain awakening that happens when you get ketones in your brain. And so we're actually going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to pop up just a little follow along thing for you guys, and I'm going to pull up some notes here because there's no way I can remember all of this and hit all of the key points without some notes. But I'm going to go ahead and just pop up a little something you guys can kind of follow along with, and we're going to talk about some of these different things. So the thing that's really interesting about this and why I think this matters so much more than so many of us realize, your brain makes up around 2% of your body weight. Okay? So that's not very much of who you are. Mm-hmm. But it burns through 20% of your energy.
Wow.
Okay? So it is burning 10 times the power of pretty much anything else in your body. So the question becomes, do you want to run your brain on cheap gas, or do you want to run it on rocket fuel? If it's going to burn 20% of your energy, what kind of energy do you want to give it? Do you want to give it the cheap clunker gas that's going to run down the engine and leave all of the residue and the buildup and the junk behind? Or do you want to run it cleanly and burn it hot, burn it powerful with rocket fuel? That's what we're talking about today. So we're going to have a little bit of some science and some things. I've done some research, and then I kind of did a little bit more research to try to sort of summarize this in the way that a redneck like myself would like to hear this if I wasn't sitting in front of the computer then going, what does that word mean? And having to define it with Google. So I'm going to give you the science-y version try to make it a little bit more layman's terms, as it were. So hopefully we all stay on the same page. So first thing, the glucose that you eat when you eat a standard American diet, you get all of the sugar and all of the carbs and whatever. Your body is filled with glucose. That yields about 36 ATP per molecule. That's energy. ATP is your energy, okay? So per molecule, about 36 ATP. But here's the thing, ketones, so we're talking about beta hydroxybutyrate, which turns into acetoacetate and then acetyl-CoA. This generates more ATP per oxygen consumed. So what this does is it creates an oxygen sparing effect and it reduces oxidative stress. So layman's terms for the rednecks like me, ketones give your brain more energy with less waste. Okay, that's just what this comes down to. It's like going from a beat up gas guzzler car to a high performance hybrid, right? More miles to the gallon and way fewer breakdowns. That's just the simple way of thinking of this. Ketones burn so much more efficiently and cleanly in your brain because of that more ATP per oxygen molecule and the oxygen sparing effect, which reduces the oxidative stress in your brain. That's number one. Okay, number two, excitotoxicity and neuroprotection. Now, when I was researching this, I was like, this makes so much sense. This explains so much about why glucose and why the standard American diet was doing to my brain what it was doing. So glucose metabolism spikes the extracellular glutamate. This leads to excitotoxicity and neuronal stress. Though that is like the brain is struggling, feeling you're getting. But ketones enhance the GABAergic tone. Okay, so we've talked about GABA. GABA is that calming your brain down hormone. So this enhances the GABAergic tone, and it's stabilizing the inhibitory neurotransmission and calming the hyperactive neurons. So, again, the redneck version for me and any of you who might relate to me being a redneck. Sugar makes your brain cells jittery like a kid on Mountain Dew. But the ketones calm that down so your brain runs smooth and steady. That's what's going on. Ketones are calming that down. Sugar is making your brain, just like we see a kid that's hyperactive from drinking the Mountain Dew full of sugar and caffeine and they're going crazy. Your brain does the same thing. When it gets a bunch of glucose in there and it has all the sugar, that causes that excited thing that's too much for your brain. So we want to calm down our neural processes, and that's what ketones do. They run efficiently and cleanly, like we said, but they also calm things down so that running efficiently is smooth and steady. Doesn't make it any less powerful, but it makes it smooth. That's what we're looking for. So number 3 here, BDNF and synaptic plasticity. So ketones actually upregulate brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Well, it's the BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And it increases the dendritic branching. Okay, so dendrites in your brain, all of the little branches of things going off. It also increases the synaptogenesis and the neurogenesis, which basically is stronger circuits in your brain equaling better learning, memory, and resilience. So, in simple terms, BDNF is like Miracle-Gro for your brain cells. And the ketones are literally helping your brain grow stronger and sharper connections. So when you look at brain scans and you see all of these dendrites, all these little branches that all go through the brain and they're sending these neural pathways, this neural information, right? The electric signals, which is what is you inside your brain going everywhere. And this is sometimes conscious, it's subconscious for like your heart and your lungs and your liver and your kidneys and all your stuff. That's the subconscious signals. But there's conscious signals where your thoughts come from. All of this, emotions, everything is tied into this. You get more and stronger connections that make better connections, send a better signal for you because ketones are working like this amazing Miracle-Gro fertilizer, right? The BDNF is the Miracle-Gro for the brain cells, and the ketones are what give you that. So your brain is trying to grow all these connections. You're going to dump the fertilizer on it by having ketones in your body. And how do we get those ketones in our body? We eat a proper human diet. It makes your brain work scientifically, okay? Next, neuroinflammation and redox balance. This is really interesting. So, glucose metabolism produces reactive oxygen species, that's ROS, and beta hydroxybutyrate acts as an HDAC inhibitor, silencing pro-inflammatory pathways. Okay, so, and there's a whole bunch of sciencey speak there that really doesn't matter that I was researching, but essentially carbs light a fire in your brain, ketones flip on the sprinklers and turn it down and put the fire out, cooling everything down and keeping your focus sharp. Okay? So the glucose metabolism, when it's producing these reactive oxygen species, the ROS, it's firing everything up. But the beta hydroxybutyrate acts as an HDAC inhibitor, and it silences those pro-inflammatory pathways. That's turning on the sprinklers, putting out the fire, and everything runs cooler. And as we all know, when an engine runs cooler, it runs more efficiently. The hotter it gets, the closer it is to overheating, the closer you are to making it blow up. Okay? So the ketones are like that relaxing effect on your brain when it's on fire. Now, this next thing here, I went ahead and put it in here. Evolutionary and developmental evidence. If you believe that we came from the primordial ooze, you'll understand what this is saying. If you, like us, believe in creation, this is taken with a grain of salt from the science world, okay? I don't care which way you believe. We have faith that we were created by an all-powerful God. But if you don't agree with us on that, that's okay. We love you just the same. We all have our different views on this. But regardless of what you believe, this is either from the primordial ooze, right, from the very beginning, developed over time, if that's what you believe, or this was created in us, if like us, you believe in creation. Either way, infants are born in ketosis, okay? Breast milk MCTs drive ketogenesis. And this is one of the things that kind of goes back to that whole carnivore kids thing we were talking about, the carnivore babies last week. Babies are born in ketosis. That's how their body runs. And the MCTs, which are the medium chain triglycerides that are in breast milk, keep them in ketosis. They drive that. Historically, humans survived fasting and with scarcity in ketosis. All right, brains adapted to run on ketones as the preferred substrate. So whether you think that we evolved to get to that point, or like us, if you believe we were created to be able to weather times of very little food and we had to have survival food and all this kind of stuff, ketones are what made our bodies run in any of those situations. So babies are born in ketosis. Our ancestors thrived on ketosis. Ketones are not a hack. They're the original human operating system. And this is why when people talk about keto and carnivore, and it's like, oh, this is a fad diet, or this is a cult, or this is any of this other kind of stuff, they're just brainwashed by decades of marketing, because this is how humans have existed for thousands of years. You may believe this is how humans have existed for 500,000 years. I don't know. Wherever you're coming from, it is very clearly there in our records, ancestrally, from anthropological information, if you believe in evolution or if you believe in creation, however this is, all of this running on ketones has existed from the beginning. So when people say it's a fad diet, they're just honestly brainwashed to believe the marketing of the last 70 to 100 years so companies can sell them high-carb products, because this is never how humans have run. Which is why all of the diseases we're fighting metabolically and all of the brain issues we're having have crept up in the last 50 to 100 years. Because none of this has ever happened before. So running your brain on sugar is like plugging into a Marshall stack with a cheap outlet. You're going to blow the fuse. On ketones, you've got the high voltage line your brain or your amp as a guitar player is designed for, right? If you have felt brain fog, mood swings, lack of focus, all of these things, I certainly have. I know you have. You guys, if you have felt that too, that is not a personal flaw. And this is one of the things that I think is so important to understand. That's not a personal flaw. You're not bad. You're not lazy. You're not stupid. It's a fuel problem. If you switch the fuel, you flip the switch and change the game. And this is what happened for us when we went keto the first time, and then especially for me when I went carnivore. You change the fuel, you flip the switch, and the whole game is different. That's why it's so important. That's why I do this full time, trying to spread the message, because I want other people to see this. So for those of you who are veterans and you're rock stars and you get this whole keto and carnivore thing, this is the thing I want you to take away. The forbidden truth that we're talking about today isn't just that ketones work better. It's that your brain was engineered for ketones. Sugar is the backup generator. Ketones are the power plant. And the moment you flip the switch from the backup generator to the power plant, you stop surviving on backup power and you start thriving on the real thing. That's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about the thumbnail picture that I have, that I put up today. I'm going to pop it up on the screen here for you again so you can see it. I want you guys to have a vision and to focus on this. That steak sitting on the plate right there, that is the power plant for your brain. That is the way your brain is supposed to run. When you are eating sugar, you are surviving on backup power, backup generators. We all know when the power goes out, you got a backup generator, it can get you through. But it is not the ideal way to run your house with a backup generator. The power plant and all of those power lines that run to your house that give you good, powerful energy when you need it, you flip the lights on and reliably they're on, that's the power our house runs on, because that's the best way for it to happen. Your brain is no different. The power plant is the steak and the eggs and the chicken and maybe some dairy if you tolerate it, some low-carb veggies if you choose to include that. That is your power plant. The bread and the grains and the rice and the corn and the potatoes and the high-carb veggies and all that other stuff, that is a backup generator. It may get you through if you're starving and you have nothing else. Dr. Berry talks about that all the time. If you're starving, eat all the grains because it'll keep you from dying. But as soon as you're able, you need to get off that junk and you need to go back to eating what your brain is meant to run on. That is your power plant. That is your ketones. That is a proper human diet. So as you guys think about this, I want you to think about that power plant and think about the proper human diet foods and the clean energy and really think about what that is going to do inside your brain. Because when you understand the why and the how, making the choice to do it becomes a little bit easier. And then when you feel your brain light up and you feel it come alive and you sort of awaken to this whole thing in your brain, if you're brand new to this and it's the first time you experience it, it's not in your head. It's in your brain, but it's not in your head. It's actually a real thing going on in your brain, and there's all of the science I just showed you how. Which is why when people say keto and carnivore are dumb and you need a balanced diet and you need whole grains and all this kind of stuff, I would love for them to argue that science right there, because that's scientifically what's going on and that's why your brain feels that way. I don't know about you guys. I think our bodies, whether you believe in the evolution or creation pathway, our bodies are smart enough that coming through all of that, they have gotten us to this place because our bodies are smart enough to know what they need. They wouldn't run better on things that are bad for us. They wouldn't run worse on the things we should have. This is us trying to outsmart our own DNA, our own, if you believe in evolution, or as we believe, this is us trying to outsmart our own creator. Why would he make our bodies and the world around us to fuel them in a certain way, for us to then have to, well, now we need to mass produce grains, we need to add sugar, we need to add chemicals, we need to take supplements. Why would that be that way? And when you look at this and you see this power plant image of that running your brain, and you see all the science of how that's working, it makes perfect sense to me that the marketing of the last 50 to 100 years is about profits, not progress. What do you think?
Giddy up. No, I think this is a really
Giddy
good,
up, rock on?
Yeah, giddy up, rock on, yeah. I think this is really cool. You know, I think a lot of the times, clearly, society, not even just the low-carb community, focuses on weight loss. And why clearly that's super important to you and I, and we've lost a bunch of weight, and we're continuing to lose weight, and, you know, go through the whole journey. I think to me, the way that I've always kind of looked at this, though, is one, you're, you know, made by your creator, and he's perfectly wonderfully made, whether you believe with that or not.
Yeah.
But with that, you know, weight is one thing, and whether you're skinny or you're obese or you have a few extra pounds, whatever, wherever you're at.
Yeah.
I think the two things that really make up a person, like who you actually are, is, I would say, your brain, number one, and two, your heart.
Yeah.
But your brain is really the hub of what makes you who you are.
Yep.
So I think being able to take care of it and understanding how your brain actually works, how it operates, and what you could be doing to make your brain work better and be clearer and think. I think that affects so much more than your own health and well-being.
Right.
I think it will make weight loss a lot easier because if you're not in a brain fog, you can move forward on your health journey. You're able to think clearer. I think it makes you probably happier, more creative. I think it would help all of your relationships. You know, being able to be the best version, to be the best spouse you can, or the best parent, or, you know, whatever. So I think the brain and just running on ketones, like what you've talked about today, is something I agree with Dr. Berry. I don't think we actually talk about that enough. And I think every other diet on the face of the world, say diet, just talks about your waistline.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're going to get skinny, you're going to get so shredded.
Yeah.
And whether that's true or not, though, it's so much more. And at the end of the day, if I had to pick between losing more weight or my brain functioning and me being the best version of who I'm designed to be, I would say, I want my brain to work and operate as well as it can.
I also kind of sit here and think, what does it matter how skinny you are if you're a douche?
Well, there's that, isn't there? Yeah.
Like, if your brain is not functioning properly, and you might be skinny, you might have a six-pack. Sure, you can force your body to be skinny, doing things that are not good for your metabolic health, which will screw up your brain, and you can act like a miserable, sour ass the entire time. It's like, nobody wants to be around that. So it doesn't matter how skinny you are. If you don't have your brain and your hormones and all of these things in check, well, what does it matter? Your six-packing will get you anywhere in life.
No.
You know, it's like, oh, I'm skinny. I live a whole long, miserable life where I have no friends, but I'm skinny. Okay, well, it doesn't do anybody any good. So, you know, yes, your weight and all of those kinds of things are markers of your health, and they matter. But there's so much more important in life than just how thin you can be.
Yeah.
And that's one element of thousands going on in your body that you can think of. And I think it's interesting you were talking about the brain. You said the brain and the heart, and I totally agree with you. What's so interesting, and I don't think a lot of people think about this, the brain is really two organs in one. It is the brain and the gut. Because the brain and the gut have this very unique connection where they talk directly. So when your brain is really messed up, you usually have gut issues. And when your gut is really messed up, you have really bad brain issues because the two almost operate as if they are one. So your brain-gut connection and your heart are the two things that really, really make who you are and keep you going.
Yeah.
You know? So
I also think there's a lot to be said. I think ancestrally we were supposed to live a life that was actually productive and useful. And I think that's another thing that goes along with big pharma, big food, and just kind of us all being obese, brain fogged, and just kind of not really able to reach our full potential and to be useful. And so if I can use you as a great example.
Yeah.
I've told this to Chris many times, but...
You do that, I'm going to pick the dog hair out of my mouth. Go ahead.
But I think you're actually a really inspiring example on why the brain is so important. Because a lot of people clearly did not know you back in the day, like when I first met you.
Yeah.
And so I think what's really interesting to me is all science and everything aside, just knowing Chris when I first met him, and him being 400, maybe 400 plus pounds, and the depression that you had, to where I couldn't even get you up off the couch, and it was just you. It's like you wanted to do so much more, but your brain and your body just couldn't. And then you found keto and carnivore, and it's cool to watch you lose all the weight, but honestly, like, that's almost like a second thing. It was like your transformation on how I watched your brain change. And how then it's like you became this crazy guy making all these recipes, and then look at like you starting your channel. Like the Chris Yu a couple of years ago wouldn't have been able to do that. So it's like, because of your brain now running on these ketones, and because of a proper human diet, look at how many people that you help.
I have to say, and I don't mean this in like a self-deprecating way. I mean this in a very objective, I think this is real way. 3 or 4 years ago, I don't think most people watching right now, I don't think any of you would have liked me very much. And I really legitimately mean that. And not because I didn't want to be a decent person who could do great things and help people and whatever. Y'all, I struggled, and I didn't have the outlook that I do now. I didn't have the clarity of mind. I didn't have the ability to move physically. I didn't have the optimism. I didn't have the hope and the joy and the desire to get up off the couch and do things that I do. I didn't have any of that. None of it. And to be perfectly honest, this is one of the reasons I say all the time, like, Ash saved my life, and she invested so much time and so much confidence and so much love and all of these things into me when I don't think I deserved any of it. And without her seeing through what all of that was and seeing what I could be underneath and encouraging me to work towards that, I wouldn't probably even be here. Her doing that, my parents sharing what keto was and telling me about Dr. Berry, and Dr. Berry's information that I was able to apply, those 3 things God saw fit to bless me with. And those 3 things that he gave me is the reason I'm alive. Legitimately, it is the reason I'm alive. I probably would have had a heart attack or gone and jumped off a building by now. I mean, I never had that ending my own life ideation. But I can see I was probably headed in that direction because my brain was so messed up and so foggy, and I had so little that I looked forward to on a daily basis. I don't know what I would have ever done. So when Ash says I'm a different person, when I say I'm a different person, I legitimately mean I am a different person, and I don't think 4 years ago many of you would have liked me very much. So, and maybe none of you like me now. I don't know. just if you don't, that's fine.
Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe you don't. But if any of you do like me now, then you need to realize probably 3 or 4 years ago, especially if you went back 5 or 6 years ago before I knew what keto was and I was at my absolute heaviest, if you went back that far, I don't think any of you probably would have liked me very much. And you certainly wouldn't recognize me as who I am now. You would not even know I'm the same human being. Not just physically because of my size and because of the fact I looked so different. Yes, that. But the way I acted and the things I did and the choices I made and those kinds of things on a daily basis, you wouldn't know who I am. And I don't ever want to be that again.
And you're not going to be. But that's also why, guys, I think we're encouraging you guys to take this live stream and go share it with somebody. I think we're in a mental health crisis.
Yes.
Not just in America, but truthfully the world.
I've worked in higher education at 3 different times in my life. Twice in housing administration, residence life, student affairs, and once in armed security on a college campus. And I can tell you, when you start seeing college-age people, which is where so many life pressures really start catching up to people, and now it's getting earlier. It's getting to where it's high school and even earlier. But especially by college, it's really happening. When you get to that point, you see the pressure start to take people over. If you haven't stepped on a college campus and seen what college students are like, guys, there is an epidemic in this country and around the world with people that age and severe mental health problems. Like, everyone talks about the entitlement and the lack of maturity and all this kind of stuff in college students. And yes, there is some of that because there are, not all, Some of them have been raised in a way where they think they're just God's gift to everything and they deserve everything for nothing. That's a problem too. But that's not all college students. There are some that are that way, and there are many that are not. But the thing that I see is so many students cannot see how to work through something, how to make good decisions, or what they should be doing, and you try to interact with them, and you realize their brain is not working.
Yeah.
And that's not their fault. Because I see them do that. They interact, they struggle, they have all these problems, and then I watch them go to the cafe or the cafeteria or wherever it is. They go get the fast food at night, whatever, and they eat sugar and junk and crap and processed things and colors and flavors and chemicals and preservatives, and that is what they live on. And their bodies cannot handle it, and their brains can't handle it. And I know what they're feeling because it was me too. I couldn't make those decisions any better than those college students. I had no patience, I had no energy, no drive, no clarity, I had nothing. And I was struggling to survive on a daily basis. Those students are doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And it's not just students, it's adults too now. It has gotten so pervasive that it basically spans all generations at this point, because this is what our food system is, and it is killing people. People are taking their own lives, they're taking each other's lives, they're operating things dangerously. I mean, they're not driving well because they're not thinking clearly. They're making dumb decisions at work. They're ruining their lives. They get hooked on drugs. They get hooked on alcohol. They get hooked on junk food. They have metabolic health problems. They're cancer, diabetes, heart issues. I mean, like, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And all of it mostly traces back to the fact that we are feeding our bodies poison on a daily basis because we are using a backup generator instead of a power plant to fuel ourselves. Mm-hmm. How sad is that so many people perish for lack of knowledge, while other people who market this junk sit there and make billions and billions of dollars off of everyone's suffering. Mm-hmm. That is why we do what we do. That is the message we try to spread, and that's why I want you guys to share this video so we can tell people you do not have to be part of this system anymore. We are in the matrix. Let's unplug as many people as we can.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to quit preaching now.
No, listen. You preach away. This is your channel. You can do that. Yeah. I quite enjoyed it. Let's go ahead in the comments though, baby. If you want. I know we got lots of good comments in here so that we can go through. For starters, Mr. Marty Crum is here.
Hey, brother Marty.
Love Marty.
Marty and I were talking earlier this morning.
I was saying, Marty, Chris showed me the video that you sent, and if he didn't tell you, I died laughing. Yeah. It was funny. John Wise is here.
Hey, John. Good morning.
Yeah, good to see you. Tony Lyle, thumbs up,
yes,
all, please.
Thumbs up, folks.
Yes. Charlie Darth Carnivore says, Mel needs to author a proper dog diet cookbook. Just saying.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
We'll see.
Charlie's smart.
Yes.
And I love this. Emily says, my brain is the reason I did this in the first place.
Yes. Emily has a great story where she can share all kinds of things about why this is so important for your brain.
Yes, absolutely. It's super, super cool. Jolene is here.
Hey, Jolene.
Good to see you. Grandma Patricia's here.
Hey, Grandma Patricia.
And Sherry says, I have a Nevada's potograph. Like a proper potograph in her underwater dogs book, so you can do it with Mel in the cookbook. Just use a safe, non-toxic ink pad and have a baby wipe handy to wipe off her paw pad. That's cool. We'll have to do that. And Grandma Patricia says, hey, Papa D, your son is super smart. I tell him that. He's so smart. I tell him all the time.
Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, Dad. Evelyn is here.
Hey, Evelyn.
So good to see you, friend.
Good morning.
Jolene says, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button.
Yes, please.
And look at this. The awesome Mr. Chris Bears in the
house. What's up, brother Chris?
He says, hey, howdy. I'm ear hustling while mixing up a bunch of keto chow.
Yum.
Love keto chow.
Love it.
I was going to say, I have my salty electrolytes over here next to me.
Yes.
Drinking them up. Blue Diamond Bill says, very technical but very interesting and timely information. I have several friends that need this information right now.
Send it to them.
Yes.
Send it to them.
Fireworks. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying, though. We're in such a crisis. And unfortunately, when someone struggles with mental health, what everyone always says is, here's a pill. here's 5 pills, take this, take that, and we don't actually treat the real issue or the problem.
Yes.
So by sharing this with somebody, especially who's struggling, put it on your social media, maybe someone will watch it and they'll go, wow, you know what, I should give that a shot.
This is like putting bad fuel into your car and it starts going put, 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 so you put something on it to mute that sound. And then by putting something on it to mute that sound, well, then it causes something else in your engine to start overheating. So then you put something on that that's going to help cool that down. And then that causes another issue where now you can't see out of the window so well. So then you put a seat on top of the car so you can see over this thing. And then now you have all of this stuff coming at you. So then you put another windshield on a big pole up in front. Like, we're treating symptom after symptom after symptom after symptom. Whereas if we would just stop and put the right fuel in the car, we could take all that junk off.
Yeah. It's true that.
Yes.
And Janelle says HOS, Human Operating System. I like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and then talking about babies. So Peggy says, what is amazing to me is that breast milk is sweet.
Yep, it has a balance of fat, protein, and glucose because babies need that to grow. And you have the lactose in there. So you have the galactose, so it's the milk sugar, which is what helps the baby grow quickly.
Interesting.
Yep.
And yeah, Janelle says, yeah, lactose milk is sweet. That's cool. Andy is here, says, its fuel problem is so my mantra for this month.
Yes,
Love
it's such
that.
a good way to think about this.
Yeah. Peggy says, how did you ever approach a doctor to be tested in order to improve your health?
So, Peggy, this is a really interesting question. And to be honest with you guys, I'm going to be talking about some other stuff we've been working on. But as far as my just general health and going to a doctor for that portion of things, I've never done that. I realized that all of the stuff that I was struggling with was answered by a proper human diet. I did my own research and I made my own choices and decisions to fix things. Now, if I need to go and maybe have labs done at some point, as I really need to narrow it in, I'll probably do that at some point in the future. But the overall general, this is what I need to do for myself, I did my own research. I haven't had a doctor do any of this. And I'm not giving any of you medical advice. I'm not telling you should do what I'm doing. This is just what I've done. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what you should do. What I have done is eat a keto and then eventually a carnivore diet. I've done my own research. I've listened to people like Dr. Barry and other doctors and creators that are on YouTube giving out information. I've studied. I've read research journals. I've gone into the medical research that he shares and other people share. And I just made my own decisions. That's what I've done. Because nothing against doctors, but they are trained by a system that's not meant to make you healthy. It's meant to make money off of you when you're sick.
Preach.
So.
Preach. Yeah. Love that. Kim says, loving your analogies.
Well, thank you. Sometimes I feel like I'm kind of the analogy guy.
You are, but it's good though. I like it. And Janelle is very sweet. She says she loves my Beauty and the Beast sweatshirt.
Yes.
She's very sweet.
This girl loves Beauty and the Beast more than just about anything in the world.
I do. I love you, the dog, country music.
Wow, I made the list today.
Yeah, you're doing good. And Yogi is here with us.
Hey, Yogi.
Says, woohoo, I made it. Hi,
yeah,
all.
It's good to see you.
Heidi's here with us.
Hey, Heidi.
Yeah. Smooth Will is here.
Hey, Smooth Will.
Says, peace and love, beautiful couple. Okay, I was over at a friend's house. She made grass-fed beef with organic brown rice and black beans. Should I feel guilty about that meal?
You should never feel guilty about any meal ever for any reason. You only say, that's not ideal for my body health, so I'm going to change it and do something different the very next meal. But if you have beans, brown rice, whatever, you go, that tasted really good. Might not have been the best thing for my body, but it did what I did, and I'm going to forget about it in the very next meal. I'm just going to keep going. That's it. There is no moral judgment on your value as a person or your worth or any of this based on how cleanly you do or don't eat keto or carnivore. That's a really important thing, and it's one that there's some influencers online that would kind of like to spur this argument amongst the community that that's not really the case. They like you to maybe feel like you're superior to other people if you clean, eat keto or carnivore, and that's a bunch of BS. It's not true. Now, is it better for your body the cleaner you go? Maybe. That's for you to figure out and decide for yourself. But Does it make you a better human being or somehow superior to anybody else if you eat steak, salt, and water and that's it and blah, 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 and somehow I'm smarter and I'm better? No. No. And in fact, if you think that, you're actually not worth, honestly, as much as other people, not because you're not inherently worth as much, but because you choose to be a person that puts other people down and you lower your own worth in that case. Your food can't lower your worth, but your actions and how you treat other people, that can.
Yeah.
And that's totally up to you. So Smooth will just go right back to doing keto and don't even think about it.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
Nope. You're good.
It's awesome. Good question. Thank
Great
you
question.
for that. Yeah. Blue Diamond Bill says, I've met a lot of skinny douches in my life.
Yep, me too.
Yeah. And Sherry says, Chris, well, there is that. I think we all know a few people like that.
Yes, I would say we probably all do.
And your mom says it doesn't matter how skinny you are if you're a douche. Is that the next CCN t-shirt?
You know, it might. It might be.
It might be.
It might
Who knows? Janelle says, body houses the soul. Best build a temple instead of a rundown shack.
There you go.
There you have it. And Emily says, I see the early signs of the sugar-fueled brain downfall with my college students. Yeah. I tell them that when they're learning the design process. Eat bacon while you're incubating. Ideas will be better.
Yep.
True that.
Absolutely.
Very, very true.
Absolutely.
Marty says, I can relate now that I've complete an 86-hour fast. I didn't get hungry and I had more energy. It seemed that when I used to eat 3 or more times a day, folks thought I was nuts.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting thing that happens, and I get it too. You know, if I'm fasting, for a little while I'm hungry, but then hunger kind of goes away, and then I just feel really energetic, really energized. You kick into that autophagy mode, and I mean, it fuels your brain with ketones heavy.
It does.
It's really cool.
That's awesome. Rick is here with us,
Hey,
by
Rick.
the way. Glad you could join.
Good to see you, my friend.
Also, Donna's here.
Hey, Aunt Donna, how are you?
Yeah, says, just made it. Thankful I'm here for the party.
Well, glad you're here.
Yeah. Smooth Will says, Chris, you were over 400 pounds, brother. Look at you now. You have won. That's fantastic.
Yes, I was over 400 pounds, which is why I find it hilarious when people comment on my recipe videos or different things. You know, when I get a big video, you always get trolls. And people are like, why are you still fat? And I'm like, I was 400 plus pounds, man. Like, I'm sorry you're too ignorant to do the research to figure out where I've come from. And you just look and see what I already haven't yet achieved. But it's like, I was over 400 pounds. You can't call me fat loud enough for me to feel like I'm failing at this.
That's right. Don't want to get you.
That's right.
Marty says, love you both. So glad God put you in our path, and He continues to bless you both.
Marty, you're very, very sweet, my friend, my brother, and we're very glad that God blessed us with having you in our path, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kim is very sweet. Says, God put Ash in your path to save you.
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
Just doing my thing. And Chris Bear says, interesting. I hadn't heard that you found keto through your parents. That's cool.
Yep. Mama and Papa Nashville were on the keto train before I was, and then they shared info with me when I was really struggling, and Ash and I started doing it, and then I took it and ran with it, and here we are.
Yeah. And your dad says, Chris Bear, he finally listened to us about something.
You finally had a good idea to listen to.
There you go. And Grandma Patricia says, I appreciate you talking about the mental changes of ketones.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Can you tell we're married?
I know. We spend way too much time together. Way too much time.
No, I think it's about the right amount.
Yeah, like all the time, 24/7.
Yeah.
We just do it all together.
That's what happens when you're married and you run multiple businesses together all at the same time.
Yeah. I love it. And Emily says, almost half of my students use accessibility services for mental health issues. It's heartbreaking. Man, that is. It really
think
is.
about those numbers, folks. Think about that. Half of your students use services for mental health problems. Half?
You know,
how ridiculous is that that's a number we have to worry about?
Yeah. You know what I think is really heartbreaking, though, too, for those kids? Is so I feel like in society we're told that, you know, when we're young, right, like when you're in high school, when you're in college, those golden great ages, that's the best that you're ever going to be. I can't imagine being that just mentally out of it at such a young age to where it's like, well, gosh, what are they going to be like when they're 30, 40, 50, 60, you know? And it's like, but what could they be if they would just change and start taking care of themselves and get all that junk out of their life? It's like, how many other Chris Cooking Nashvilles or people that could be doctors that could just go out and make a difference in the world are not living up to their full potential
Yeah.
because of how they're fueling their body. It's crazy.
Yep.
It's honestly heartbreaking.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm glad we're here, and hopefully someone will listen.
We're just trying to save people.
Mm-hmm. And Emily also says, yes, that's the same group. Most of them don't drive, and we are a commuter campus.
Commuter campus.
Commuter campus, yes.
Yeah.
Which is so sad.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, not even wanting to drive.
Really crazy.
Richard Williams is here, our wonderful
Good
neighbor.
Good morning, neighbor.
Yeah. Marie says, awesome information. I love your heart for this.
Oh, well, thank you, Marie.
Yeah.
We're just trying to save as many people as we can.
Yeah. Kel says, hi from Louisiana.
Hello, Kel.
And Evelyn's so funny. She says, red or blue pill?
That's right. That's right. Why, oh, why didn't I take the blue pill?
Yes.
I'm glad to be a red pill kind of guy.
Oh, that's good stuff. And Kim says, thinking back to my freshman year, living in a dorm, eating from the vending machine, it's no wonder I struggled with my classes. Went from straight A's to average and below.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. I still had a good GPA in college, but I look back at it and I'm like, man, imagine, I could have had a 4.0
Mm-hmm.
if my brain had been functioning properly and I knew all this.
Right.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. And Crow is here, says, my biggest regret is not starting this PhD method years ago.
I get it, but the thing is, if you don't know about it, you can't do anything about it. And it's like, I wish I could have started it a long time ago too, but then I go, I'm here where I am for a reason. I went through what I went through for a reason, so
yeah,
I just try to do the best I can with what I got now.
Absolutely. Andy says, and shared this with my sister who 8 kids from 15 to 2 years. She has a few kids with autism.
Ah, yes. This is very important for them for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
Most definitely.
Yep.
Jay Enos is here with us.
Hello.
Says, keto since 2006 and
Yeah.
2 months on carnivore.
Very cool.
Stable weight for 9 years, but it's too much and I'm hurting. Any ideas to encourage some weight loss? So far, carnivore hasn't shown any progress.
Well, again, not a doctor, not a dietitian, not any of these things, but I think it kind of depends on when you say carnivore, what you're doing. Because you can be carnivore and you can also have like a lot of inflammatory things for you personally. You can eat a lot of dairy, like different things like that. Some people can eat all the dairy and it's no problem. Other people, myself included, dairy can really stall that out and it can cause other issues, and there's all kinds of things. So some people say I'm eating carnivore and you realize they're actually not eating carnivore. There's places carbs creep in. There is all kinds of stuff that can happen. So I think a lot of it kind of depends on when you say 2 months on carnivore, what kind of carnivore you're doing. So super, super clean, like, getting enough protein, not totally overdoing your fat, really limiting dairy to little or none at all. Those are a few things that you can kind of do to maybe try to kickstart that weight loss, and just doing the N=1 experiment and figuring out what works for your body.
Yeah.
Also, how many times are you eating a day? Are you fasting? Are you having coffee? Do you have sweetener in that coffee? Are you having dairy with that coffee? I mean, there's so many factors that, I can't necessarily give you a real clear, straight, here's what I would do if it was me kind of thing, but those are some things that I would consider. So I know that's frustrating. But it's, again, you're not doing anything wrong. You need to figure out what are the levers that I need to pull. And if you try all of that and you pull every lever there is and something's still not right, probably worth seeing a doctor just to make sure there's nothing going on. So just kind of depends. I mean, there's a lot of markers and different things. One of the best things you could do would be have your labs done and then go to Dr. Barry in either the Dr. Barry private group, or even, if it's just a short little thing, you can do a super chat on one of his live streams. But go to Dr. Barry and be like, here's my labs and I'm not losing any weight and here's what I'm eating. What am I doing wrong? Because he can give you a lot more detailed response to that than I can.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely,
he's a smart dude.
Yeah. Let's see here.
But we're happy to do anything we can to support you. So let us know what we can do.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's also just patience, which sucks.
Yeah.
So
it can be tough to wait it out for sure. And this is funny. So Dennis, talking about my shirt, Dennis said, when Janelle said B&B shirt, I thought she meant beef and bacon.
Yeah.
Not Beauty and the Beast, beef and bacon. I love it.
She does love those things too.
I like them all. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Also, very sweet Jane says, you are both beautiful to me.
Oh, you're very sweet. You are beautiful to us as well.
You're so sweet. Jackie's here.
Good morning, Jackie.
She says, good morning from the Pacific Northwest. Was watching while cleaning the kitchen. Had to run the comment, love the never feel guilty about food. I hate hearing, I was so bad. I ate blank today. It's a pet peeve.
Yes, yes. You were not bad. You were not maybe ideal in fueling your body, but you were not bad. There is no moral judgment or moral categorization based on what food you chose to eat that day. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I would agree. By the way, you were talking about getting labs run and all of that. Another option Chris Bear just put up is
yes.
ownyourlabs.com.
Yes, ownyourlabs.com. I have not done it, but I have researched it. I've looked at it before. And I know a lot of people in the community that want to get their labs done. That's what they do. They go to ownyourlabs.com and you can get those tests ordered and get all of your numbers. And if you're really looking for some good information, you can go get Dr. Barry's new version of Common Sense Labs that is out.
Yes, this is true.
So he's been talking about that. He's got Common Sense Labs. I believe it was him and Kim Howerton that wrote that together. And that will give you all the information of what labs you need and how to read them. So.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And this is awesome. Brian says, using keto and carnivore to heal my brain. I still have a ways to go, but I can put sentences together now.
And that is a huge win. So rock on.
Come on, man.
That's fantastic, Brian.
Yeah, that's awesome. This is also so encouraging. So John says, I'm still over 400 pounds, but no longer over 600 pounds. And I'm feeling a lot better and my blood work is perfect. I take whatever wins I can get.
John,
come on.
You're incredible, brother. You get a light show for that one. That's,
yeah.
You know, John is such an inspiration. And this is a perfect example of what's like, why are you 400 pounds? Well, he was over 6.
Yeah.
Stop focusing on what he hasn't yet achieved. Let's look at what he has achieved and realize that's evidence that he's doing the right thing and he just keeps doing it.
Yeah.
And you tweak it a little bit as you go and you keep making it better. And that's why John is here, so he can share his story and to get the inspiration from all the people in the chat and be a part of the community. And this is how we all work together to do this. It's also why we have the band. It's linked in the description box. It is there in the chat for you guys. Come join if you want some extra support. That's why we do what we do.
Absolutely, yes. And Dennis says, I relate to the vehicle fuel analogy. Yep. Definitely me too, man. And Hope says, my husband owns a mental health practice. We would not believe the waiting list.
Oh, believe me, Hope, I would believe the waiting list, and we'll be giving you guys more info coming soon, just about all of that. But yes, I would absolutely believe the waiting list. I think most people who haven't tried any of that stuff or know anything about any of that stuff would be shocked at waiting lists for things like that.
Yeah.
It's really so we have to do something, guys. We have to do something.
Yeah.
If there is going to be a future for the country in 50 years from now, we have to do something. And that's why we're here. We're trying to do something.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And Edwin is here with us.
Hello, Edwin.
Said, just watched Dr. Sean O'Mara latest drop on showing visceral fat and how to eliminate it.
Nice. I like Sean O'Mara.
Very cool.
Dr. O'Mara's cool.
Yeah. And Emily says, that doesn't reflect the whole campus, just my program, to be clear. The most creative people struggle the hardest with their brains.
Yep,
I
absolutely.
agree with that. Definitely.
But even in a creative thing, I think it's still like, there just should not be a situation in the world, I think, where any one group of people, even if they're the creative people, where half of the people are struggling like that.
As a creative too, I think clearly, we do struggle with our brains more. But again, if you fuel it right, the more creative you are, and the better the things you create are. So
absolutely,
I say we go for it.
Absolutely.
Well, babe, I think we're pretty much caught up on comments. If you guys have any other questions, please let us know. I'm trying to think, do we have any announcements or things we want to talk about with these fine folks?
We have a really cool video that I'm going to start editing. That'll be coming out Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, a nice recipe video. It's basically how to do everything wrong and then how to do everything right for a steak. But that's not really the interesting part, because I know a lot of you are probably like, oh yeah, everybody can cook a steak and whatever. It's helpful to know the wrong things versus the right things, because it'll massively up your steak game, and there may be some tips in there you didn't know. more importantly, you get to see what Dr. Barry thinks of my steaks, because he's going to be in the video.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to cook some steak for the one and only Dr. Barry himself, and we did a little live event at Amanda Decker's Clear Path Medical Clinic with a little live studio audience, and I got to kind of do this cooking demonstration and cook for Dr. Barry, cook for these fine folks, and I'm going to share it with you guys, and I'm going to help you up your steak game, and I'll let you be the judge of whether it's worth it or not based on what Dr. Barry says.
Yeah.
So,
that's going to be really cool. So
yes.
that's coming out this Saturday
That's
at 9
coming
a.m.
out this Saturday at 9 a.m. Huge honor to get to do that with him. I think you guys will find it very interesting. We will also be at Low Carb for Better Health.
Mm-hmm.
Both days. Our schedule changed a little bit, so both days we'll be at Low Carb for Better Health, so we'll be seeing you guys there if you're coming. If you're not, I'm so sorry you're missing out, because it's going to be awesome, but plan to come to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fantastic. And is there anything else we need to loop folks in on?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so, babe. I think that's pretty much it. I know
Okay.
we're going to go film a video here.
Yep, we're going to go film a video here, which is for a couple of weeks from now, so be on the lookout for that. That'll be really good. And if you haven't joined yet, the band is linked in the description box for you guys. Please consider. The band members actually know what we're filming today, because they also know about this whole keto shred thing that I'm doing, like what I'm actually doing. They're kind of part of that challenge. If you guys want to be a part of that challenge with us, come over and join the band and be a part of this.
Yes.
And Chris, we're excited to see Miriam.
Yes, we love Miriam.
We're happy
Chris,
we're happy you're there too. But Miriam,
we love. We just love Miriam. Yeah.
No, we're really looking forward to seeing Chris and Miriam and so many other people. Low Carb for Better Health. That is going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to get to hang out. And I am cooking some meat with the meat sponsor, Mr. Yori from Route 22 Meats, is going to be there. So that's going to be a good time. So I think that's everything. If you guys need to join the band, go do that ASAP. We'd love to see you over there. And make sure to share this video with someone who really needs it, because remember that this is a very important matter. Ketones in your brain, the forbidden truth, right? This is the key to unlocking your brain's full potential. And it's been hiding right there in plain sight this entire time. So share this with someone that needs to know it. And let's do everything we can to help change the world.
Absolutely.
So, guys, we appreciate all of you. I hope you have a wonderful Labor Day. Go hang out. Go enjoy your families, or work if you have to today. I'm sorry. But whatever you do, have a wonderful day. Have a great week. Make sure you are subscribed. Hit the thumbs up. Share this video. And we will see you guys here in the studio for our next live stream. Probably a bunch of other things as well. You never know. So thank you guys for being here. This is Chris Cook in Nashville. The beautiful Ash Taylor. You guys eat your meat for your brain. Love your life, and we'll see you back here for the next Monday Morning Motivation, if not before.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.